As you all know, that the Buddhist teaching has given the Buddha's given by Buddha, but he was how do you say, he was enlightened. He was enlightened after giving teaching. I mean, before he gave teaching, he was enlightened. And enlightened means in the sense that he got the how do you say, the great wisdom. He got realized the nature of all the phenomena, and that means not only the phenomena that we can see or we can hear, but the beyond the things. So he understood and realized the things that are beyond imagination and beyond words and all these things. So this is what we call, sometimes we call it shunyata, or we call it Buddha nature, or we call it sometimes we call it bodhicitta, or there are many terminologies that we can use, but that's just a terminology. But the actual thing is that it's something beyond what we see, beyond what we sort of perceive. But then at the same time we should understand that this is not something that we cannot see or we cannot perceive. Beyond doesn't mean that that this is not possible or not available for us, because we live with that. We are really like we are the present situation right now. We are with the shunyata. We are with the bodhicitta. We are with the sort of like the education that we are. I mean, we are knowledge that the Buddha Shakyamuni sort of realized. It's not something that is not available for us, or it's not sort of possible for us to understand. For instance, the Four Noble Truths, the first thing what he said is he sort of pointed out for us pointed out for us to understand the sufferings. And the suffering is something that we how do you say, we have to identify it. We have to sort of we have to come across. For instance, like generally we don't like to talk about the sufferings, especially in the West. When we talk about the sufferings, then they think that they feel like they feel kind of negative about it. They think negative about it. But I don't think it's a good solution or good idea to not to sort of it's not a good idea to sort of escape or to sort of try to avoid it, because you cannot avoid it without knowing it, because it is part of our life. So therefore it is something that we should understand. It doesn't mean that you should go through it, because we don't want to go through it. That's what everybody feels same thing, and it's everybody agrees. Even the Lord Buddha agrees, and everybody agrees that the suffering is not the one that we want. But therefore we wanted to know. We wanted to know what exactly the suffering is. So then you will be able to understand how to avoid it and what to avoid it in order to avoid the suffering. Whereas right now, we wanted to avoid the suffering. We all equally wanted to avoid the suffering, but we don't know what is really the suffering also. So therefore, we just don't want to hear about the suffering. We wanted to enjoy the moment by moment or whatever. We wanted to enjoy drinking, enjoy dancing, enjoy, I don't know, the company of the friends and all these things. And that's the way how we sort of feel that we are avoiding, we are getting rid of the suffering. But it's not. Actually, we are creating more sufferings by doing all these things because we are ignorant. Basically, not because we're drinking or because we are enjoying all these things we are creating. I'm not saying that, but mainly because we're being ignorant